As you close your eyes and relax, just allow yourself to be aware of your breathing. Just simply tune into the gentle flow of your breath and notice the rhythm. Notice the pattern. Just allow yourself to focus on that breath as if there's nothing else to do. Allow yourself to just be content, to be with your breath for a moment. And then I wonder if you can contemplate how it would feel if you just breathed a little deeper. Not trying to force it, just go a little bit deeper. And feel that breath flowing now. And I wonder if you could contemplate how it would feel if suddenly you just let go of trying to control your breath or hold your breath or make it flow deeper. And just think about how it feels as it flows on its own. Breathing. This is breathing. Then begin to pay attention to how your body's moving with every breath that you take. Even though as you're sitting there, you feel still there's movement. There's movement with every breath. Just feel your body moving and just go with the flow. Let yourself just be there. And then I wonder if you could begin to be content as you think about your whole body. Just spend a moment. Think about your body from the top of your head all the way down through your fingers, all the way down to your toes. And just allow yourself to be aware of your body, the position that it's in, how it feels, all those parts that have come together to make you whole. Every nerve, every muscle, every organ and fiber. Just allow yourself to contemplate how your body is without trying to change anything. But as you contemplate your body as a whole, recognize that there is changing happening. There is movement within. There are thoughts in your mind. There are feelings flowing through you. Don't try to stop anything from changing. Just observe. And that observation, that simple focus, and even contemplation can even make things change just by being observed. If you notice any tension, you can observe it. And then you can move your mind away from it and you can almost feel that tension disappear. Just allow yourself to be content with what you notice right now. Feel whatever you feel, but allow yourself to be passive, as if you're a detached observer. And as you continue to relax, imagine you're turning your attention deeper within, and you're becoming more and more aware of your body. Imagine it's almost as if you could take a step back and watch yourself. Imagine how you look. I wonder if you could begin to picture yourself as if you're seeing yourself from the outside. Just imagine taking a step back and looking. And it doesn't really matter how vividly you can picture yourself. It's just the intention. It's just the idea that matters. Imagine the posture of your body in whatever position you're in. And imagine how it would change if you just allowed your body to look relaxed. Imagine the expression you would see on your face. And think about how it would change if you invited in a feeling and an expression of contentment. Allowing your eyes to just be peaceful. Imagine if you invited in just the slightest of smiles to your face. How would that change? Imagine, if you will, the color of your clothes, the style, the way your body looks sinking down into the surface beneath it. And just imagine you take a step further back. Imagine you could see the energy around you. What is that energy? Imagine you could feel it. Imagine you could feel the emotion that you're putting out. And just keep looking at yourself. Imagine how you look, just resting there. Paying attention to your physical body. Just sitting and resting. Imagine as you watched, you took another step back, and then another. And the further away, the more your perspective changes. And all the while you sit there, breathing, in quiet contemplation. And as you watch yourself, you take another step back. But this time, you almost feel as if you're lifting up off the floor. Imagine you're gently leaving the ground. Begin serenely floating upwards. Floating cautiously. All the while keeping your gaze on your body. But imagine now it's seated below you as you rise above it. Just keeping looking down at your body as you float higher and higher. Let your mind open and imagine the roof and the ceiling disappear all allowing you to float freely upward. And the higher you go, you still feel connected and grounded to your physical body, gazing down at yourself, seated comfortably below, looking content, contemplative, and calm. Imagine you see all the rooms around you, and as you lift higher, you see the people in the other rooms or in the other places around you. Imagine you continue to fly higher and higher. And the higher you go, the perspective widens more and more. Imagine you rise above the building that you're in. You see that building around you. Imagine now you see the streets outside, the buildings, the roads, the people. As you lift higher and higher, you see people who are working, people who are resting, people who are walking along outside. Imagine you notice as you lift higher and higher, people on bikes, people driving cars, people all around. And you just pause for a moment, looking down on your neighborhood or the place around you. And you just reflect for a moment on the whole network of humanity, of all those human lives all around you. Most of them you hardly ever notice, you don't pay attention to. But allow yourself to contemplate and reflect for just a moment how people everywhere are going about their life. Imagine how people interact with each other. How even without intention, people influence each other in different ways. They move out of their way as another passes. They pause at a traffic light. They let someone else walk through the door first. Encountering each other in different ways. Some of them communicate with each other. Some of them are deep in communication, and others seem to not notice the other one's there. Just imagine all the people around you and how they're encountering each other in different ways. And then you float higher. And all the while you can still feel yourself, your body, sitting, grounded. But imagine you float higher and higher and the people become smaller. Imagine you're rising up above the weather. You can see the whole surrounding region beneath you. You can see the outline of the coast and the ocean. You can see all the different towns, all the countryside. And you lift higher and higher. And your perspective becomes more and more expansive. Gently floating higher up in that sky. You just feel as if you're part of that blue sky above. Imagine you float gently above the atmosphere. So high that you rise above the sphere of the planet itself. And all the while, you sit and breathe, grounded with the earth. But imagine you get into that place that's quiet, out into space. And you look down towards the planet, and you move further and further away. Imagine after a while you reach that place where you look towards the planet Earth. It's floating before you, as if it's suspended in space. And as you watch, ever so slightly, you notice it's turning, and you pause there, and you just contemplate the majesty and the beauty of the earth, floating against the darkness of space. Out in the distance behind it, you see stars. From this perspective, you can see the moon floating around it. From here, you can see the whole planet. You see the blues of the great oceans, the browns and greens of the continents. You can see the ice caps at the top and the bottom of the earth. As you watch, you notice the wisps of weather systems floating across the surface, silently floating. And though you can no longer see yourself from so far above, you know that you're there. You can still feel the connection with the earth below. But from this perspective, you still realize, or perhaps just contemplate the fact, that your life is important, that what you do with your life is important. This change in perspective perhaps can change the view of the things that are going on in the world and in your life. But the things that don't change are your values, are your truths. But from this perspective, perhaps your priorities can change. For just a moment, looking back at the earth, just contemplate the fact that right there on that planet, there are billions of people. And when you think about all the people on the earth, you realize that your life is one among million. One person among the total population of the earth. As you reflect on all the people on the earth, you can think of the rich diversity of human life. Just imagine right now all the different languages that are being spoken, all the different races, all the different nationalities. Just imagine as you look back at the earth, all the different ages, that at this very moment, all over that planet, there are babies being born, taking their first breath. At this very moment, all over that planet, there are people passing on, taking their last breath. There are people in the prime of their life. Open your mind. Just think of the enormous variety of human experiences happening at this very moment. That at this moment, there are people celebrating great times in their life. And there are people filled with sadness. There are people moving on. And there are people just beginning. As you look back at the earth, you can contemplate and realize how richly varied the tapestry of human life is. And yet, as you gaze back at the earth, floating there in space, you realize that the earth itself is just a tiny speck tiny speck adrift in the immeasurable vastness of space. The world of ours is merely a single planet, a tiny grain of sand, this rock in space, revolving around our sun. And the sun itself is just one amongst billions of stars in the heavens that punctuate the velvety blackness of space. And you think about this present moment and allow yourself to see it within the broader context of your life as a whole. Just think about your life from the moment you were born to this very moment, and how much it's changed, how much you've grown and learned and experienced, the good and the bad, the happy and the sad. You think about your life as one moment in time, but this is just a blip. And then you think about the enormous lifespan of man itself. Hundreds of generations have lived and died before you, and many more will come after. Just think about that. You think about the lifespan of humanity itself, and how humankind is just one amongst billions of species living on the planet. Just open your mind. See life from this perspective. Who can imagine? Who can imagine the vastness as you contemplate the vast lifespan of space itself, of time itself? Remember that the present moment is but the briefest of instances, a blink of an eye. This moment right here is a fleeting second in the mighty river of time. However, this moment is important. The here and now is important. Right now you are standing at the center point of your life. Here and now, you're at the only moment in your life that truly matters. Though your body may be small in the grand theme of things, recognize that your imagination, your mind, is as big as the universe. Perhaps it's even bigger, because your mind can envelop everything that can be conceived. From the cosmic perspective, your physical body may be small, but your mind is vast and ever expanding. As you contemplate things right now, past and present and future, allow yourself to see your life with the bigger picture, in the total context of time and space. See yourself as an integral part of something much bigger, something truly vast, part of it all. Just as every tiny cell in your body works together to form a greater unity, a living being, so your body as a whole is a single cell in the organism of the universe, in the grand design. As your consciousness expands, as your mind stretches out to reach and touches the vastness of eternity, things change. A shift occurs. A shift occurs in what's truly important. From this perspective, trivial things truly are trivial. Things that don't matter don't matter. The significance of your own attitude towards life becomes more apparent because you realize life is important. You realize that life is what you make out of it. When you put things in perspective, you can focus on what truly matters, on your values, on your priorities, one moment in time. You can connect to that mindful place of peace. You can sink into that space of serenity where you can accept the things that you cannot change and where you can find the courage to change the things that you can't, and where you embrace the wisdom to know the difference. You should follow your heart. You should recognize that you are a rational, truth-seeking being, that you are part of nature and part of the universe as a whole. Just feel that oneness. Feel that peacefulness. And breathe. Just imagine looking back at that planet. That shiny, beautiful planet, spinning on its axis, floating through space. That's your home. That's your place. So imagine ever so gently you begin to sink back towards the earth. Sinking back towards your place in the here and now. But part of you can remain aware of that view from above. And always remember this perspective. Always remember that serenity. And just allow yourself to begin your descent back to earth with a fresh perspective. Ready to face the future with a renewed strength and a peaceful serenity within you. Just imagine you sink closer and closer to the earth. Down, closer and closer. Back down through the sky. Back down to your local area. Back down into the building that you're in. And you see yourself sitting there again, breathing. And just imagine you sink gently back down into your body, all the way down into your feet. Connect to the floor. And just breathe now. Just feel how it is to be present. Begin to think about the room around you and the space that you're in. Without opening your eyes, allow yourself to get the perspective on where you are now. Right there in your place. Right where you're meant to be at this moment in time. Don't waste it. Don't waste this journey. Don't let your mind all of a sudden switch back into that worrying, fearful, doubting mind. Hold on to this peace. Hold on to that serenity. And then again, thinking about your breath. I want you to begin to think about breathing a little more deeply. I want you to think about feeling your body a little more energetically. Let your body begin to feel alive and ready for action. As you breathe the energy of the air in and you send it back out, hold on to this feeling of mindfulness, this self-awareness, beginning now. Hold on to this perspective and always remember that you are important, that you were created for a purpose, that you were given a heart filled with intention. And it's up to you to share that, to make your mark, so that you can leave your life, so that you can leave this place better than it was before. So when you're ready, just hold on to this feeling and think that you're ready to emerge from this meditation, renewed and refreshed. And open your eyes now. See where you are in the here and now. Feeling that deep calm and that peaceful serenity that is yours. Welcome home. Thank you. You didn't know you were flying out into space today, did you? Yay! Awesome. Thank you all. Have a beautiful day. Hi, guys. Hi, Tristan.
Talk to you later.
Okay. Hi, Tristan. I know you're there. Bye.
He is here.